Okay, so here's the follow-up on the Mazda where we're going to get into a few more details. So, uh, 2.5 liter, 190 horsepower, four-cylinder, six-speed automatic transmission, all-wheel drive, standard. The automatic transmission is fantastic. The engine, I had the same engine in my Mercury Mariner. This is a good engine. I'm surprised it gets as good gas mileage, but then again, this is a lot lighter than my Mercury Mariner, and they've had a lot of time to work on it. So, as I said, this is actually a class above the Corolla Cross and the Trax. The interior for the driver is beautiful. Now, again, legroom back here is it's for children. But let's see. It does have center armrest with cup holders. It does split fold down. It has air conditioning vents down here. But that's it. No power cables back here for passengers. That's a ding. The Chevy and the Mazda both had something. The Chevy and the Toyota. But this is where the Mazda both excels and is weak. The Mazda excels because of the finish and materials in here. Now, this is okay to touch. It's more impressive to look at. The fact that it's two-tone and it's imitation. It's plastic that looks like leather. This is not all that special. This is a nicer armrest. The controls here, it's pretty standard. This has memory seats that neither Toyota or the Chevy have. I think that defeats your safety tech. I'm not sure what that is. Let's power it up. And that's going to be the annoying seatbelt warning that just... So, this screen, I don't know what the official sizes of it are, but I'll tell you, it's practically small, meaning that when you put on the backup camera, that's what you get, that tiny little thing. The guidelines don't move like the Chevy. The resolution is just not that great. As far as tech, there is no wireless Android Auto. And the wired Android Auto is problematic, but that could be my phone. I have a Pixel, and Pixels are notorious for the USB-C port not holding onto anything but the original factory cable too well. That's why I like the wireless. I don't care about the glove box. The center armrest has a nice feature where you go like this and it slides back. It gives you a little access to whatever this little cubby hole is, which is actually, it's the same thing. But that's a nice party trick. This material just feels nice and is a nice... So let's take a look. The center here is actually a full LCD, I believe. The very center here that's normally where your speedometer is. But I like this version because it shows you your blind spot. It shows you distance to the car in front of you when you're using your adaptive cruise control. So that's a very useful. You've got, otherwise you got attack, you got simple gauges in the center. The cup holders are in a stupid location, making them damn near useless. This is just absolute stupidity. This dash needs to be redone so that the touchscreen is actually a touchscreen, and this is easily moved, but that is worthless. I went to get coffee from Dunkin' Donuts with my coworker. I had a cup of coffee here. He had a cup of coffee here. There's no way you're going to get that coffee while you're driving. It's stupid. And that's the shame. Mazda has such a nice looking premium feeling interior, but then you have the letdown of the touchscreen's too far. Your alternate use for the touchscreen is this: you have auxiliary audio controls here, which is great for the passenger because they can't use that and they can't use these. Pretty standard fare as far as, I mean, the location's a little different. For buttons, you have your audio controls and your cruise control and your info. You have floppy paddles on the back of the steering wheel for your manual shifting. But this is annoying. Very annoying. But you get on this trim level, which is the 2.5 preferred, I believe, you get 18-inch alloy wheels with all-season tires, which is pretty damn good. That's what you get on the Active, and I have 19 inches on the 2RS, so it's comparable. You get a nicer dash material, nicer door cards, and just a nicer looking interior. But the Chevy actually has a more comfortable and useful interior. So this car, as I mentioned in the second video I did, is about $3,000 more than my Trax or the comparable Toyota Corolla Cross. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's 10% when you actually look at it, or a little over 10%, 12%, I believe. And it's not an insurmountable number, but Chevy could easily bring the Trax up to this level by redoing the interior like they used to do the old Malibu. I remember my buddy Dave had a Malibu LT2, I think. And the interior on that was a nice two-tone touch surfaces like this. And so if they improve the door cards and the dash material on the Trax, they've already got better cup holders and charging pad, and the rest of it is this auxiliary infotainment controller here, and auxiliary, well, not auxiliary infotainment controller, but the infotainment controller. Go to home, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. It's not intuitive. It's a pain. And of course you can't reach anything. And also if you're looking for your maps, they're going to be small, and this interferes. And I'm 5'8". I'm average height. I know that people lie and say that I'm 5'8". I'm average height. That's just not a great view. This is amazing. Oh, and it has a heads-up display on the windshield. That is very useful. Gives you your speed, gives you the warnings for stop signs and speed limits, shows your cruise control. So that's pretty cool. It's a gimmick though. It's not necessary. Neither the Toyota or the Chevy have it, and they both do well enough. That's a cute gimmick. That's great. Really what they come down to is just the feeling of the interior, and of course this feels so well put together. No squeaks, no rattles, a sense of, it almost feels like an old German car. It feels like an Audi or a BMW. So this is an excellent competitor. Like, I always talk to my brother Bob, and he's not a big fan of the infotainment systems. So this car would be much more his cup of tea, because he wouldn't even care as long as you have a radio. He doesn't care about that. I care about that because I want my Android Auto for my maps, for my music up there. That's a very important. This is a very nice feature. I actually wish Chevy had something like this. Now, maybe if they swap me out to another car, that's for Hyundai, because I'd love to see their blind spot notification where it's on either side of the gauge cluster, I think. That would be neat to see. This is nice. And that's basically the bottom line on this CX-30. It's nice. My big dings on it are the incredibly small back seat, the infotainment, especially that, and the cup holders. Now, I happen to know these 2.5 liter engines. The original ones were very reliable. So I would imagine that this will be also. Yeah, this is very nice. It is a class above the Trax, and a world apart from that Toyota Corolla Cross. So that's where I'm at. The CX-30 is very nice. I mean, obviously, I love my Chevy. I prefer my Chevy, but this is a nice place to be. So thanks for watching.